Hi guys, and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. My name is Crystal, and this week I'm going to be sharing 3 easy dinner ideas. If you guys enjoy this week's What's for Dinner, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I do have a playlist if you guys want to watch more What's for Dinners. And also too, if any videos I mention or recipes, they will be down in the description. So now let's get started with this week's What's for Dinner. Hey guys, so for today's dinner, it's one of those days where I'm going to use all of the pans to make dinner today. But of course, I promise you it's going to be an easy one. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to start by grilling some onions. My husband and I really love grilled onions. Got one overboard, and then I'm just going to season that. Today, I've had these in my fridge for too long already, so I need to cook these up. My husband purchased these. They're the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausages, so we're gonna have that. I also have some leftover hot dog bread in my fridge that I definitely need to get used up. Sorry, my kiddos and my nieces are here. And then I took this out of my freezer last night and just defrosted it in my fridge. So I'm gonna make the kiddos just hot dogs, keeping it super simple, keeping it real. I have this pot over here boiling because I have some corn on the cob that I want to use up. And then I'm going to boil these. Last time I boiled them because my husband suggested we should. Haven't done it in a while, and when I did it, everybody really liked it. So we're going to do that. But I'm going to cook the cheddar ones. And then let me turn this down. It's a little too high for my liking. I'm going to season this. I'm going to let this come to boil. I'm going to do the jalapeno cheddars. And then I have some fries, just some frozen fries in my freezer that I want to use up too. I don't think I'm going to deep fry them today. I'm going to do it in the toaster oven. Honestly, they do taste better deep fry. I'm not going to lie. But you know what? Not all the time I want them deep fry. I like to do it baked sometimes too. So we're going to be using our handy dandy toaster oven for that. So yeah. So this is what we're having for dinner for today. This is my plate right here. I have the corn, I have that jalapeno cheddar sausage, I have the grilled onions and a pickle. I just decided to have it like this for today. And then I just made a side salad. I have very little bit of Kobe cheese, a little bit of the bacon bits. I also added my favorite topping of the fried onions. And then I also added a little bit of the pumpkin seeds toppings, just enough to make it a little bit lower in points. And then I'm just going to add a dressing of choice. But pretty much this is what I'm going to have for dinner. My husband had to go somewhere. So when he comes back, I'll try to film his. If not, pretty much he'll be having a hot dog with fries. Because I also made the baked fries. And then I'll see if he wants a side salad or if he wants corn or what he wants. But pretty much this is what we're having for dinner for today.
Tomahawk.
So today we are having the most famous steaks of all, the Tomahawk steak. As you heard my husband and I and my kiddos have never tried a Tomahawk steak or even cook one. So we just went with our easy favorite steak seasoning. This steak was a gift from a friend, so we really appreciate that. We had that in the freezer and we decided to cook it up today. So yeah, we're gonna see what we think. This thing is massive. It is huge. So let me know down in the comments if you've ever tried a Tomahawk steak, because we're about to see what this baby tastes like. And of course we are cooking it on our Blackstone Adventure Ready griddle combo. I always get questions about this grill. I did purchase it at Walmart, and it comes with a deep fryer or just a regular burner on the side. But we're gonna cook this thing up, and then we're gonna flippy flip. You want pizza? Ay, te está dando mucho. Hold on. Yeah. And then he's just cooking it on butter, as you saw. And then if I didn't mention, we're just using our favorite steak seasoning that we like to use. Freya says it smells like pizza. I'm gonna let it cook on the other side, and this bad boy should be ready. And then to go alongside with our steak, we're gonna make some potatoes. I was gonna make some baked potatoes, but I decided at the last minute just to make some potatoes like this. Usually I make these potatoes when I cook chicken in the oven, but today we're just gonna season them up the same way I cook a whole chicken in the oven. Just the potatoes on their own to go on the side, something different, switching it up from baked potato and mashed potatoes, just switching it up, just some roasted potatoes. So my oven still doesn't work. Hopefully I could get someone to come in soon. But I'm just adding my favorite seasonings. The only new one that I'm adding is this garlic cloves. And then I'm not adding as many as the chicken one. I'm not adding as many seasonings as I normally do when I cook my whole chicken, because it's just the potatoes. So just adding a couple of seasonings that I really like to cook with it, and just stuff that I have on hand. Trying to use the up too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on a baking tray, and I'm going to cook these up for about 450 degrees. Yeah, let's do 450. I have my toaster oven preheated. I'm going to cook them up for about 45 minutes, 30 minutes. So I'm going to see, but I'll let you guys know for sure. And then I'm just going to add some cooking spray. I am going to add a little bit of butter to these potatoes, so I'm not worrying about putting... I'm adding butter for flavor, but the cooking spray so that they don't stick. And here I have about 4 potatoes. 4 or 5, they're small. I feel like I could fit one more, but then I don't want them too close. I want them to get nice and roasted and softened. There's different ways of making it. I just really wanted to cook them up like this. Let me just add the butter really quick. And then I'm just adding a little bit of butter. Yeah, I think these were 5 potatoes. Try to always make one enough for everyone. But they're tiny potatoes. They're still rustic though. They were just on the smaller side. And then it should make like a nice little sauce with the butter that you can always add on top of your potatoes or steak or whatever. But I usually make these potatoes with the whole chicken in the oven. It is so good. I really want to make that. I think I can make a whole chicken. I could cook a whole chicken in my toaster oven. We'll see. Have to get a whole chicken when they're on sale.
Let me see.
That face. It's good.
Oh my god.
Hot butter.
Juices and everything.
What, you don't like?
Nothing. It's a lot of that.
That's why I give you a piece of meat, just so you can taste it. So good, guys. I never had one of these steaks. We have prime rib, you know. But this one.
Wow.
It does taste it. It does take it.
That is really good.
Like buttery and everything. Huh?
And it's a big piece of meat.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be enough for all of us. Just slice it up. I just took out the potatoes from the toaster oven and they are perfect. They're nice and roasted. They actually went in less time. They were actually in the toaster oven for about 20 minutes on 450, and they're nice and crispy and soft on the inside. So I'm gonna plate this up to show you guys what it looks like. Okay, and this is what it looks like all plated up. We did cook ours on the medium side. We do prefer it like that. Oh my goodness, when I'm telling you it is good, it is good. My tongue just, it tasted a good fancy steak, and I don't know if I can go back. I'm gonna have to because my budget can't afford it. Anyways, those are the potatoes. I thought I was gonna make a sauce, but normally it makes that sauce when it's cooked with chicken, obviously. And it just got, you know, roasted, and oh, it's so good. And I just made a simple salad, you know, salad and our favorite topping and a dressing, and we're good to go. And this is what we're gonna have for dinner. Hello. So I didn't film my plate. I ended up using a different dressing, the Olive Garden light Italian dressing, which is lower in points, and my plate was 17 points in total. Okay, so la carne, ¿cuánto tiempo lo cociste?
2 horas y media.
2 horas y media. ¿Y qué le echas? ¿Es agua? Ajo.
El agua caliente, el sal, sal, ajos y cebolla, un pedazo de cebolla.
Ah, un pedacito de cebolla. Y esta es la carne deshebrada, ¿verdad?
Y la carne deshebrada.
Okay, so she cooked it for 2 hours. She added water, salt, or no, garlic, and a piece of onion. And then my mother-in-law understands and speaks English. She just prefers to speak Spanish. She understands everything I'm saying. That's why she's laughing. Y ahorita nomás, las tortillas de maíz las calentaste en el micro, ¿verdad?
No,
en el comal,
pero las puede también calentar en el micro.
Pero es mejor en el comal, ¿verdad? Porque luego se pegan en el microondas.
Pienso que, yo pienso que es mejor.
Yo también pienso lo mismo.
Bueno, nosotros siempre lo hemos hecho aquí.
Sí. So then she just warmed up the corn tortillas that we're using, or tortillas de maíz, on the griddle, just to soften them up. I was asking her if I warm them up in the microwave, but they do get a little bit sticky in the microwave, so it's just easier on the griddle, but either way will work, she said. And then she's adding some and then rolling them up, and then she adds a toothpick, and then we're gonna fry them up in oil. And over here my father-in-law is actually already doing it. They usually work in teams, sort of like my husband and I. Let me show you. So aquí ya lo está calentando, digo, ya lo está cocinando en aceite. Friando. So deep frying. Friando.
Friando el aceite.
El aceite. Friándolo.
Friando en oil.
Frying it.
A ver.
Sí.
Las hiciste
Cookie dough.
blanditas o duras.
Aquí nomás un saludo para todos.
Hola.
Hi.
¿Cómo
No,
estás?
saludos para todos aquí haciendo
Las flautas.
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 Con sopa de arroz.
Oh, sí. Hi, Nana, ven para acá. And then she also made her famous sopa de arroz or Mexican red rice. I'll show a video on how she makes it, or I make it, and then in the description you'll see the recipe. ¿Mande? Ay, bájate de ahí, Estrella. Ay, chamaca. Ten cuidado. ¿Y cuánto tiempo las dejas hasta que se doren?
Como
verdad?
las quieren,
Blanditas
blanditas
o
Como
duras.
tú las quieras.
Okay.
En
Es de
homemade,
Homemade, sí.
a tu gusto.
A tu gusto, sí. So just let them cook up as until they're golden crispy or as much as you want. Some people
1
like them
minute.
softened.
3 minutes.
Yeah,
Whatever
3
you
to
want.
5 minutes. But they're looking beautiful. And he has them on the side to a bowl to drain. And
Ahí
then,
está la salsa.
sí, la salsita
Molcajete.
molcajete. Bien
La
rica.
crema.
Mira, oh
Le
man.
tapa la crema, mujer.
La crema la tienen que batir con leche,
Poquita leche.
con leche y un poquito de sal.
Ah, okay. No mayonesa. Ese es para los tacos de pescado.
Ese es para los tacos de
okay,
pescado.
so for the roll tacos or the flautas, as we're more familiar calling them, is the sour cream. You need to add a little bit of milk and salt. So sal y leche nomás.
También le ponen el queso
And then
encima.
queso
el
cotija.
cotija.
And this is similar to a Parmesan cheese. It is very flavorful and good, but the way it looks, it's similar. It usually comes in a block and you can shred it, or if you find it in your store pre-shredded already, you can use that pre-shredded cotija cheese. And then she also just cuts up some romaine lettuce, and then this is the salsa molcajete that she made. I have a video on how she makes it and also how I make it, so I will link it down below. Very easy and very flavorful. But if you don't have a molcajete, you don't know what a molcajete is, this molcajete is a rock. It's a stone, and you roast your tomatoes and chiles, and you use the motor to, not the motor, the, I always forget what it's called, the pestle or the,
Dos ajos.
to
Dos ajos en sal. You start for 2 garlic.
sí, sí, y
Ah,
los,
sí, pero
los,
luego
según la
sal
cantidad,
y la
según-
muele.
sí, sí,
Si van a hacer poquito, nomás un ajo y un poquito de sal.
okay.
Y se muele con la sal el ajo. Pero si es mucho
Sí.
como eso, lleva 2 ajos.
Sí,
2 cabezas.
sí, para darle mucho sabor,
Dos
¿verdad?
dientes.
So they use 2 garlic cloves in there, but she said that you can add more or less. I will put the recipe down below. Sometimes I like to add more, so it's really up to your preference how garlicky you like it. But pretty much you crush everything in this molcajete, or I believe in English, I always forget, I think it's called a mortar and pestle. Comes with a little like stone, and that's what you use to crush. And this one she's had in her ever since she got married. Desde que te casaste tienes esta, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Yeah, since she got married, she's had this one. The one I have is actually passed down from my grandmother. So mine is a little bit older. It's actually over 80 years old. This is such a great thing to be passed down in through families, and it really makes a big difference in salsa. It tastes so much better here, but if you don't have one, you can always make it in the blender. It's not a problem. And here my mother-in-law is just warming up some tortillas on the comal or the griddle, and that's just to soften them up. You can do it in the microwave, but they do tend to stick to one another, the tortillas, so it's up to you if you want to do it like that. And they're cooking up there, and then just quickly filming again and showing you guys how she rolls them. Pretty easy and simple. Once the tortillas are warmed up, she just takes the cooked beef and the shredded beef and adds it to the tortilla. You can always add less or more, and then rolls them up nice and tight. And then she uses a toothpick to hold them together. You could do 1 or 2, but once they're fully cooked, take that toothpick out and discard that. It's just there to help the taquitos or the roll tacos or the flautas. I'm more familiar with flautas. That's what we call them. But I know they have different names. It's just to keep them nice and tight. and so that it can hold their shape. But definitely you can make these if you don't eat beef, or if you want to switch it up, or if you have chicken, you can shred chicken and use chicken. You can also use shredded pork as well, or if you're trying to keep this meatless, you can also make this with potato. Just smash up some potatoes and use that as well. I've never tried it with potatoes, but I have tried it with pork and chicken, and they're just as good. They also sell pre-made beef if you want to use that, but it does taste better when you cook it yourself. And then my father-in-law took off and started watching novelas, so I was helping my mother-in-law. We were laughing at that part. But yeah, just once they're, you know, as you can make them soft or crispy, 3 to 5 minutes like they said, and then just draining them off to the side. Here my mother-in-law is just adding the last of the flautas to the oil and just deep frying them. You can also bake them in the oven, or if you have a air fryer, of course they will taste different, but that's just a healthier option. My plate, I did not film it again, I'm so sorry, was 20 points. The portion was a little bit smaller, but this was my husband's plate.
Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. And what's for dinner today is red rice and flautas.
I know. You guys are gonna say that. Hurry, close your eyes.
And that's what's for dinner for today.
That was my husband, Jorge. He's so funny. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.
You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours.